Hello and welcome to the third video of this series where I will show you a Hotlap around Australia. After that I'll show you the setup and then finally the race strategy. So this video is a bit different as I will show you parts of 3 different laps so that I can show you the best turns that I did. So coming into turn 1 you want to brake just after the 100-meter board and then turn in, go over this curb and go over this curb but still keep the tires on the track. And remember that the track limits is the yellow line, it's not the white as some people thinks. So coming down to turn 3 you want to brake just before the black box and then start turning in around the 50-meter board. Go up to 3rd and 4th and then down to 3rd to get the rotation and short shift up to 4th. Going into turn 5 you want to go as close to the curb, maybe even go over it to get the exit speed. So going into turn 6 you want to brake just after this part of the barrier and then going in you want to turn in on the curb and use as much of the exit as possible. For the next turns you just want to stay as close as possible to the yellow line without going on the grass. For turn 9 you want to brake just under the 50-meter board and start turning in right away. Go down to 6th gear and then up to 7th as soon as you pass the corner. DRS on and then just full throttle down to the next corner. In this corner you want to brake just before the 50-meter boards and then after that you want to go down to 3rd gear, don't hit the curb here and then you can use this curb for exit if you want. Coming down to turn 12 you want to brake just a little bit and then go down to 5th gear and then use this curb for exit. Here you want to brake just after the white line that was on the ground and then turn in, go up to 3rd, go up to 4th and then get as close to the curb. Then DRS and then it's just over the line. And we did a 1:17.534. So Australia is not my strongest map, but I think I got a setup that was very good and very stable. So let's take a look at that. So for the aerodynamics we did a 16 on the front wing and then 19 on the rear wing. For the transmission we did a 67 on throttle and then 56 off throttle to get the car to be stable. For the suspension geometry it's one all to the right and then the others all to the left. For the suspension we have a front and rear at 4 and 2, then the anti-roll bar at 6 and 3, and then the ride height 2 and 4. For the brakes we have 150, and then for the tires we have them all the way to the right. So before going into the race strategy, please leave a like and subscribe. But let's take a look at the strategy. So we want to do a one-stopper but the game won't let me choose medium soft, so we'll do that manually. For the fuel you want to put a lot lower than I did, you want to put around 29.5 as you don't use that much in Australia. For the setup you want to use the same as you did in Hotlap, but you want to change the tire pressure to 2 clicks to the left as the tires get very hot in Australia, so turn them down to not get as much wear. So for the formation lap we could see that we started P15, so we had a lot of cars to overtake. But let's skip ahead to the end of the formation lap. So we managed yet another time to get a purple. Look at this. Almost perfect. It was 0.2. Beautiful. So let's get into the race. So for the race start you want to have the throttle around 15 to 20%. And then when the red lights go out, go easy on the throttle so you don't get the wheel spin. Short shift almost up to 4th. And then just full throttle. Going into turn 1, watch out you don't hit the others and don't go over the curves too much. But we actually did a great start, getting up to P11, just behind Magnussen. And watch out into turn 3 that you don't just send it, but actually keeps it clean. I hit O'Connor a bit on the rear wheel, but it was nothing serious. So that was a very good start going up to P9. So at the end of lap 1 we have around 5% tire wear, so with the formation lap you can think that we use around 2 to 3% each lap. And I just wanted you to show this clip to show how the AIs are driving in this game. They are very aggressive compared to last year. Alonso and Verstappen going side by side, Alonso locking up, that gives me the opportunity to take 2 overtakes in one. But let's skip ahead into lap 14 where Mark wants us to pit for the first time, but as you can see we only had 40% tire wear, so I didn't want to go in yet. But let's skip ahead to lap 17 where I will show you a lap around Australia with the high fuel. So going into lap 17 we had around 47 to 50% tire wear, but we wanted to use a lot of ERS to get a good time here. So going into turn 1 you want to brake just around the same, just a bit before as the hot lap, going over the curb and going over the curb again. So it's pretty much the same as in the hot lap. But let's go down to turn 3 as you want to brake a bit before as the hot lap, just around the 100 meter board again. And going down to the same gears around here, just be a little bit more careful on the throttle. Here you want to lift just a bit on the throttle so you don't spin out. Going down to here you want to go maybe a gear lower, or else you can take it in 5th gear. But going around turn 8 and the following almost straight turns, you don't want to push it to the edge as you did in the hot lap, as it will affect your tire wear. So going into turn 9 you want to brake just before the 50 meter board, going down to 5th gear and then up to 6th again. Watch out in this corner as you'll go over the curves very easily, so maybe lift the throttle a bit more. But going down to turn 11 you want to brake just before the 50 meter boards around 60 meters and going down to 3rd gear, so almost just the same as in the hot lap. And then you want to do the same thing as in the hot lap, going down to 5th around this corner, and then for turn 13 you want to brake just after the white line. Going down to 2nd, shift up to 3rd and 4th, and then take it around the last corner and then just full throttle. So coming over the line we did a 121.7, so that was pretty good for medium tires, but normal you want to do around 123 on the medium tires. So at the end of lap 20 you want to go into the pits, and when you're entering the pit lane watch out for the speed limit. So I would say brake around the 70 meters, as you can see I did, and I was just perfect. Coming up to the turn-in point and we actually did another purple. We are getting this, boys. So remember, when going out of the pits your tires will be cold, they will be around 70 degrees. So going into turn 1 you want to brake just before the braking line so you don't go wide. I managed to keep it okay clean, so just have in mind to lift the throttle a bit. Going into turn 3 you want to brake just at the 100 meter board, so a bit before than you're used to, but that was perfect line for me, going around here. Lift the throttle a bit more going around here, and the same in the next one. Otherwise your tires are up into temperature, so you can just go as you would normally do. So on the soft tires you can see that you use around 5% each lap, but when you're going on the soft tires you can take the corners as you would do in a hot lap. For example, we'll take down in turn 3, where you'll brake just after the 100 meter board, just as you do in the hot lap. So coming around here you do the same, go up to 4th, go around here. Here you want to just lift the throttle just a bit so you don't go too wide, otherwise it's just the same. But let's try and skip ahead to turn 9, where you want to brake just around the 50 meter board, going down to 5th, maybe take it in 6th, and then here you want to watch out for the track limits again. Going down to turn 11, you want to brake just as you do in the hot lap, and then take it down to 3rd, around here. You can use a bit more exit, but then around here, just as in the hot lap, down to 5th, and then here you want to brake after the white line, going down to 2nd, and then up to 3rd and up to 4th, and then just flat out for the rest of the lap. So a lap on the soft tires, where we got the fastest lap, it was a 119.5. So that was pretty fast. Otherwise you want to do around 122 on the soft tires, so 1 second faster than the medium tires. And as you can see we have around 35% tire on the soft tires in lap 27, so it's no problem to take them to the end. But let's go into the last lap, where you can see we have around plus 1.2 laps of fuel, so you can easily put it down to 29.5 laps. For the tire wear you can see we had around 53%, so it was no problem at all to take the race in the one stopper with medium and soft. You just have to do it manually when you're doing the race, as you're not allowed to do it in the beginning. But we got driver of the day, so job well done, and then thank you for watching, guys. Hope you could use this video, and I'll see you in the next one.